So we talked
True
about,
story, Mike. I have to level with you. I completely forgot what we were doing this episode about when you told me that that was going to be your opening question. And I wasn't actually defensive, but I did totally go into defense mode to talk about my shirt, right? I mean, doesn't that just say everything, right?
yeah.
Welcome again to It Doesn't Take a Genius, conversation with introspective perspectives and pithy points of view. Here are your hosts, my friends, Max and Marty.
I think that's Mark and Mike.
Yeah, whatever.
Ramsey.
Marshall, how are we?
I was doing fine till. Why are you wearing that shirt?
How dare you, sir? How dare you? As you are well aware, I had on a jacket that had a brand name that I did not want to display for the camera. And that made it sound like it was the old like Big Johnson t-shirts from the 90s. But like this was just like a brand name that I didn't want to necessarily have plastered over our videos. And so I switched to the sweater. This was the shirt underneath it, Mike. It's just a simple Oxford button-up. I feel no shame in wearing this shirt. What's your problem?
I don't know. You seem a little defensive. Seem like you're, you're. How are you feeling after I asked the question?
You don't like the fact that it doesn't button down at the collar.
Can't stand the. Yeah, you got to have the button down, right? The wind. You can't have a collar just doing what it wants.
Well,
right?
So I'm gonna.
Just.
This is funny. This is one of the ways where we are complete opposites because I hate button downs. I'm not going to wear a button down unless I have a tie on. And I like that they're a little bit floppy. The one problem with this one is little Mark Ramsey tidbit for you. This does not have a collar stay, and that is a problem. I think they should have collar stays. In fact, I have upgraded because of finding out about them years and years ago when I was single and had bizarre cash to dispose of. Brass collar stays.
Yes.
And
yes.
you talk about feeling like you are presenting well to the world. Put in some brass collar stays. They make your collars hang down. They keep them at a point. It's very nice. But I'm sorry that I have bothered you with my collar stay, and I apologize for being defensive.
Well, see, the fact that you're apologizing tells me a lot about how you're feeling. so we talk about this all the time from a coaching standpoint. We're always talking about what, not why.
Yep.
And a why question, a question that begins with the word why,
yep,
is generally trouble.
Yep.
And we talk about how a what question in place of a why question will generally make things go a little bit better, especially in the coaching situation. And so the homework that we give when we're training on this topic is we'll talk about this, and people will look at you like, I don't know if I buy that. Well, why is it bad? Right. You'll get that kind of sarcasm. And all I have to do is say, all right, here's your exercise for tonight. I need you to go home when your significant other, special someone in your life, prepares a meal for you, sets it in front of you. All I want you to do is look at the meal and go, why'd you make this?
Yep.
And let the fun ensue. And you'll see everybody in the room shaking their head like, not doing that. Yep. Like, oh no. Just let your significant other walk in the room and say, why'd you wear that today? And just and everybody's like, I'm not doing it. So inside, intrinsically, we know that why questions oftentimes start a fight. They feel accusatory, they feel confrontational, and that a great what question can eliminate that, right? Can take that away. Because if we truly want the answer to our question, and not a fight, if we truly are being curious and trying to discover what's going on, especially as a coach, a boss, or a leader, then we have to be curious, and curiosity doesn't thrive well in an environment where somebody feels attacked or confronted.
So in the International Coach Federation, when you go to take your exams and become a professional certified coach, when I went through the PCC process, if I asked a why question, I would get eliminated. That would be a failure. So this is like, yeah, this is serious in the coaching world. Now, having said that, here's a context to throw at this to help us sort of process it. I know a gentleman who is married to someone from an Asian culture, and she will say things to her family like, think you're getting fat. Or one time, apparently, I was not present for this event, but all the kids had made painted on pumpkins for Halloween. And when they all left to take a walk, she stayed back and fixed them. Fixed the kids' pumpkins. So now maybe she's a jerk in her culture, but I suspect that these are her loved ones, her family, and with the best of intentions, she is doing some things that in her culture would be very normal to do. Hey, clarity is kindness, right? Maybe I need to tell you that you're getting fat. But in America, in the West, perhaps, that came across pretty rough, right? You could make an argument, and I had ICF instructors who did this, that, maybe in the American vernacular, we're getting to where why could be in some circumstances okay. Do you really want to risk it? Right? Do you really want to possibly cross that cultural boundary? I would argue no.
Oh, no. Yeah. If you're truly trying to get to the bottom of something,
right,
an issue, a feeling, an idea, whatever it might be, then yeah, why risk? You make such a great point. Why risk throwing up an obstacle that now has to be surmounted before you can then get back to figuring out, okay, what is the root thing that's going on here?
Yeah.
And you look at Six Sigma, and they preach the 5 whys.
Yep.
That's fine, because in that case, you're asking that of a process.
Yeah, not about a person.
Yeah, so it's not. So yeah, there are places for this, and if you ask enough what questions, a why question can be acceptable. So
right.
But you've got to start with what.
Yeah.
So my opening statement, why did you wear that shirt today? I could turn that into a what question. All right. So what do you like most about that shirt?
Yep.
Now we're gonna have a conversation. So going to go to the same place. And how does that feel? Mark, what is it that you love about that shirt?
Oh yeah, I'd love to talk about the shirt. I bought it at Costco. It was sort of an impulse buy. Like I could keep going, right? So we true story, Mike. I have to level with you. I completely forgot what we were doing this episode about when you told me that was going to be your opening question. And I wasn't actually defensive, but I did totally go into defense mode to talk about my shirt, right?
You did.
I mean, doesn't that just say everything, right?
Yeah. So I put you into amygdala hijack with my wife. Completely, lost the focus of what we're. Yeah, it's like, I've been attacked. I must respond in kind.
Exactly.
He must die on the fire.
And you're a friend.
And I'm usually perceived as pretty non-confrontational. So
right.
I think that's a great illustration of the power of this thing. So.
Right.
And we all mess up, right? You'll hear us even in this podcast. Occasionally we'll start like, what? And you'll hear us pause and figure out, okay, how do I reword this into a what question?
Yeah, sure.
And so we're not saying we're experts, but we are saying this is something that if you want to change your game, it's definitely an area to work on. And if you've got a confidant, somebody who can give you feedback, right? If they catch you, right, you're going to put $1 in the why jar every time you start a question with why. Do something to remind yourself, and over time you'll get really, really, really good at this.
One last thing, and it's just for those that are still wrestling with the idea of that shouldn't bother people. That shouldn't be a big deal. Well, sure, but ask yourself, do you want to be effective, or do you want to be right? Maybe you're right. Maybe it shouldn't bother us. But for some people, it does. If you're really trying to get to the bottom of things, let's just be practical here. The what questions will get you there faster. Go ahead and use the what questions. That's my argument.
No, I think that's great advice. Because we if we tend to not understand a person's reaction, we often are judgmental of that.
That's right.
So why even risk it? Yeah, start with your what questions, get to the good stuff, and just avoid that whole why trap. So
Beautiful.
so yeah, remember what, not why. Take you a long way, whether it's in coaching or personal relationships or life.
I think that is a wonderful little place to put a pin in it for this episode that is super short on purpose. We're experimenting here with new formats, and you may have seen our YouTube reels. Are they called reels? I don't even know.
Shorts.
Shorts, sorry.
Yes.
Instagram has reels.
Yes.
Is that right? Okay. Anyway, you know who also doesn't have a clue about social media and technology? I don't know. That's not fair. He's very technically precise and has a full recording studio at his beck and call, but I bet doesn't give a rip about reels or shorts. It's John Wolf.
He is our announcer. Take it away, John.
And that's it. Join us next time when you'll hear Mike say, well, I'm sure he'll say something pithy. Don't miss it. Next time, it doesn't take a genius.
That's good enough.